Chosen one, listen closely. Heaven has paused everything around you for this moment. You have walked through storms that almost drowned your light. You have faced rejection that tried to silence your voice. And yet, here you stand, still breathing, still believing, still chosen. You have not been forgotten. You have been forged. Every tear, every betrayal, every night you thought you would not survive was a setup, not a setback. You thought the breaking was your ending, but God was simply molding you for a throne that the enemy could never reach. You are standing at the very edge of divine reversal, the sacred place between breaking and being crowned. The pain you felt was not proof that God abandoned you. It was proof that you were valuable enough to be attacked. The darkness saw something in you long before you saw it in yourself. Every chosen one is first misunderstood, then mistreated, then magnified. That is the rhythm of divine selection. The enemy thought he broke you. What he didn't know is that when heaven chooses someone, even breaking becomes an ingredient of glory. The crushing of the olive brings the oil. The pressing of the grape brings the wine. What was taken from you will announce you. What was denied will soon define your next elevation. You are not a victim, you are a vessel in transition. There were moments when you prayed and heaven stayed silent. You cried, and no comfort came. But the silence was never punishment, it was preparation. God was building something that required quiet, something too holy to be birthed in the noise of applause. You were hidden because you were holy. You were broken because you were being built. And soon, the same hands that allowed the breaking will raise you before those who once doubted you. You are not here by coincidence. This message is not random, it is divine orchestration. Heaven saw the way you kept loving while being hurt, the way you kept forgiving while being forgotten. Every unseen act of endurance was recorded in eternity. You have been weighed, not in the scales of man, but in the balances of God, and He has found you faithful, chosen one. The breaking point you reached was the birthplace of your anointing. You were not supposed to quit there. You were meant to emerge. You were meant to rise out of ashes carrying fire. Every scar on your soul is not shame, it is signature, proof that the divine hand has touched your life. Even when you felt like giving up, the Spirit whispered within you, "Hold on." You didn't even know what you were holding on to, but something sacred in your spirit refused to let go. That was not your strength, that was divine intervention. The very breath of God sustained you when your own strength failed. Listen carefully, your pain was never wasted. The same stage where you fell will soon be the platform of your announcement. You are the sermon your suffering preached. You are the evidence that God redeems stories the world calls finished. Every betrayal was an invitation to deeper revelation. Every disappointment was redirection, pushing you toward the destiny that could not be delayed any longer. Now heaven is whispering, "Rise. Rise from the ashes of your past. Rise from the shadows of doubt. Rise from the fear that chained your heart. You are not who the storm tried to define, you are who the fire revealed. You are the chosen one, and what the enemy used to break you, God will now use to announce you. The light that once flickered inside of you is turning into a blaze. Your voice will carry weight now, because it has walked through silence. Your authority will carry power now, because it has been purchased through pain. The enemy's weapon became your testimony. The breaking became the broadcast. Heaven is announcing your name to the earth. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." Chosen one, the light in you is not meant to be dimmed anymore. You have been tested, and you have been trusted. Heaven has seen your endurance, and now the season of silence ends. Step forward. This is your hour to shine, not for fame, but for fulfillment, not to be seen, but to be sent. Your pain was the trumpet that called heaven's attention, and now heaven is calling your name aloud. If this message resonates with your spirit, take this as your divine confirmation. Like, share, and subscribe so that this word reaches other chosen ones who are standing at their breaking point. And if your heart bears witness, comment the number 77 below as a prophetic sign that your breaking will announce your becoming. There were seasons when heaven seemed silent, and you questioned if God still saw you. The days blurred into nights, and prayers fell like stones into an unseen sky. You whispered, "Where are you?" And all you heard was quiet. But that silence was never divine absence, it was sacred strategy. God's quiet does not mean God's distance. It is in the silence that He writes what cannot be spoken. Chosen one, you must understand, this heaven's silence is not punishment. It is precision. When the sculptor chisels, the marble does not hear a sound of affirmation, it only feels the cut. And yet, every strike shapes beauty. So it was with you. God was carving away everything that could not carry your crown. Every unanswered prayer was not denial, it was redirection. Every delay was not rejection, it was protection. There is a holy stillness that comes before divine announcement. The orchestra of heaven always pauses before the grand crescendo. That pause is not emptiness, it is expectation. You were living in that divine pause. Heaven was holding its breath over your story. In that silent season, you were learning to hear in frequencies the world cannot understand. You were forced to lean in, to trust without evidence, to believe without proof. You wanted answers, but God was giving you roots. You wanted visibility, but God was building vision. You wanted to run, but He made you rest. Every moment of waiting was sacred training for the weight of what's coming. You see, the enemy misread your silence. He thought you were defeated. He thought the absence of noise meant the absence of faith. But what he failed to see was that your quiet trust was thunder in the spirit. Heaven moves for those who wait. You didn't quit. You didn't turn bitter. You endured. That endurance is the seed of authority. Sometimes God hides His greatest works behind stillness because He knows that visibility too early can destroy what He's building. If Joseph had been revealed before his prison, he would never have reached Pharaoh's palace. If David had been crowned before the cave, he would never have learned mercy. If Jesus had been glorified before Gethsemane, salvation would not have been complete. In the same way, you had to walk through this quiet furnace so that humility could anchor your greatness. You are not being ignored, you are being incubated. The silence of God is the sound of destiny forming. You are like a seed beneath the soil, buried, unseen, but not forgotten. The darkness that covers you is not a grave, it is a womb. The silence you hate is the space where God speaks in whispers too holy for noise. There were nights when you doubted your own worth, when it felt like your prayers bounced off the ceiling. But heaven was moving in ways you could not measure. Angels were rearranging paths. closing wrong doors, and aligning divine timing. God was not delaying you, He was defending you. The silence was the shield around your preparation. In that hidden season, you learned to discern God's presence not by emotion, but by faith. You learned to love Him when nothing made sense. You learned to walk when you could not see. And that, chosen one, is the mark of those who carry divine destiny they trust beyond comprehension. When God finally speaks after silence, it is not to explain, it is to reveal. The words He will release over your life will make sense of everything you could not understand. You will see that His silence was full of speech, His stillness full of motion. The time you thought was wasted was the womb of wonders. You have been faithful through the quiet. And now heaven prepares to break that silence with a sound of glory. The same lips that once asked, "Why?" will soon proclaim, "Now I understand." Every unseen prayer, every whispered surrender, every tear that fell in silence, they all built a sanctuary for God's glory to dwell. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 37, verse 7, "Be still before the Lord, and wait patiently for Him. Do not fret at evildoers' success." That verse is not a suggestion, it is a secret. It teaches that stillness is not weakness, it is weaponry. The waiting ones are not forgotten, they are fortified. While others rush, you have rested. While others panicked, you have prayed. And now, the very silence that frustrated you will become the sound of your unveiling. Do not resent the quiet, revere it. It means heaven is near. The voice that once seemed distant is preparing to thunder. The God who appeared hidden is about to step into view. The silence was never the end, it was the setup for the sound of divine announcement that is coming next. There are seasons when heaven hides you, not to punish you, but to prepare you. You have walked through the wilderness, wondering if your silence meant insignificance. But God was doing His finest work when no one was watching. The hidden years were not wasted years, they were the birthplace of your strength. Chosen one. Understand this, every divine destiny begins in obscurity. Before David held a crown, he held a sling in the field. Before Joseph wore royal robes, he wore chains in a prison. Before Jesus stepped into public ministry, He endured years of quiet preparation. You, too, were hidden on purpose. Heaven knew that if you were revealed too early, the weight of visibility could crush the roots of your anointing. In your hidden place, the world forgot you, but heaven studied you. Every unseen act of obedience became a seed that will now bear public fruit. You thought no one saw the sacrifices you made, the prayers whispered in the dark, the moments you chose forgiveness when bitterness felt easier. But heaven saw it all. You were not overlooked, you were observed by the one who rewards in secret. Chosen one. Your wilderness did not break you, it built you. You learned to rely on manna instead of man, to find rivers in desert places, to feel God's whisper in emptiness. You learned faith not from comfort but from conflict. That's what makes your oil so rare. It was pressed out of your perseverance. There were moments when you wondered why doors kept closing, why relationships faded, why opportunities vanished as soon as they appeared. The answer is simple. God was protecting your purity of purpose. Some doors are not demonic attacks, they are divine barricades. Heaven refused to let you settle for something smaller than your calling. The delay was not rejection, it was refinement. When you thought you were stuck, you were actually being shaped. Every no, every pause, every detour was chiseling away pieces of pride, fear, and doubt, leaving only the image of God within you. The hidden preparation is heaven's classroom, and suffering is often the tuition of wisdom. You paid for what you now carry. There is a sound that rises only from hidden hearts, the sound of surrender. And surrender is what draws the presence of God closer than any song or sermon. You have surrendered much. And now heaven is saying, it was not in vain. Every test birthed discernment. Every loss birthed humility. Every silence birthed strength. What was hidden will soon be heralded. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 12. And after the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. That whisper is where God trains his chosen ones. You have learned to hear him not in noise, but in nearness. When others needed signs, you learned to trust his silence. That makes you dangerous to darkness because your faith no longer depends on proof. Now, the wilderness begins to tremble. The soil that buried you will soon shout your name. What the enemy used to isolate you will become the very evidence that God had his hand on you all along. The pain that once silenced you will now speak through you. You are not stepping out of the wilderness empty. You are carrying oil, wisdom, and authority that cannot be faked. Heaven is preparing to announce you. But first, you must acknowledge this truth. You were never hidden to be forgotten. You were hidden to be fortified. The fire that surrounded you did not consume you. It clarified you. The loneliness that once felt unbearable became the language through which God taught you to hear his heartbeat. And now, when your name is spoken, it will carry weight, not the weight of ego, but the weight of endurance, not the fragrance of ambition, but the fragrance of survival. You endured what many would have escaped. You held your faith when others let it die. That is why you are about to be revealed, not by your strength, but by divine timing. The season of hidden preparation is ending. The sound of unveiling approaches. Heaven has been waiting for this exact moment. And you are ready, even if you don't feel it. What was concealed will now be celebrated. What was private pain will soon be public purpose. Now, chosen one, take a moment and affirm what heaven already knows. Comment, I am ready. Declare it with conviction. You are not speaking into the air. You are aligning your spirit with divine timing. Those 3 words are not empty. They are a prophetic act of agreement. When you type them, you are telling heaven, I accept the call. I embrace the unveiling. I am ready to be seen. You survived the silence. You endured the hidden years. And now, you rise anointed, armored, and appointed, chosen one. What the enemy used to break you is now trembling in your hands. For the weapon that once wounded you is becoming the very instrument of your unveiling. The enemy plotted to bury your voice, but heaven turned that burial into planting. You were never meant to remain underground. You were meant to rise through it. The soil that once suffocated you will soon testify that it carried divine seed. You must see it clearly. Now the trap became the testimony. The rejection became redirection. The betrayal became the bridge. Every scheme the enemy constructed was unknowingly building your platform. What the enemy designed for humiliation has become the very structure where God will display His glory through you. You are not emerging empty-handed. You are stepping out, carrying proof that God redeems everything. There were moments when you thought, "Why did I have to go through that?" But now heaven whispers, "So others can see that I can bring beauty from ashes." What you survived will speak louder than anything you could ever say. Your life has become a living sermon, written not in ink, but in endurance. Look back on those moments that once seemed meaningless, the heartbreak, the loss, the season of loneliness that left you gasping for peace. Each of those wounds became a door through which light could enter. God did not send the pain, but He refused to waste it. Even the schemes of darkness have bowed under the sovereignty of His hand. There is something sacred about the way God transforms betrayal into blessing. Joseph stood in front of his brothers, the very ones who sold him, and declared, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." That declaration is rising in your spirit now. You are about to look at the very things that once broke you and see how they built you instead. The pain that once silenced you now becomes your announcement. Chosen one. The enemy's plan was to turn your heart bitter, but every time you chose forgiveness, you disarmed hell. Every time you chose to love again, you shifted atmospheres. Forgiveness was not weakness, it was warfare. It broke curses that ran through generations. It allowed heaven to take what was meant for destruction and transform it into elevation. There are moments in divine history where heaven takes the loudest no of the enemy and transforms it into a thunderous yes of purpose. You are living in such a moment. What looked like your breaking point was really your launch pad. You had to fall into that pit so you could rise with authority to pull others out. You had to be crushed to carry oil that now anoints others. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 13, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again." That declaration echoes through eternity into your present moment. The enemies you wrestled with, the fear, the shame, the failure, are losing their power even now. You will never see them again in the same way. God is not only delivering you from what oppressed you, He is elevating you above it. You are crossing over into a realm where your wounds no longer define you, they announce you. Every battle had purpose. Every tear was currency in the kingdom. Heaven keeps perfect records, and not one moment of your endurance will go unrewarded. You may not see the full picture yet, but heaven has been weaving every thread into a tapestry of divine glory. Soon, when you stand in the place of your unveiling, you will understand that even the attacks were invitations, each one drawing you closer to the center of God's plan. The enemy thought the breaking would silence you, but your silence became a seed. Now it is sprouting into a voice that carries authority, purity, and power. You are no longer defined by the pain. You are defined by the perseverance that grew from it. Heaven is about to turn your why into now I see. So, stand firm. You are standing on the ground that once tried to bury you, and that is victory itself. The same ground that hosted your tears will soon witness your triumph. What was meant to end, you will now introduce you. What was meant to destroy your faith will now display it. The storm that tried to drown you will now reflect your rainbow. Chosen one. The divine reversal is already in motion. Heaven is preparing to announce what was built in the dark. What the enemy used to break you has been transformed into your announcement. The very fragments of your past have become the foundation of your platform. This is the mystery of divine redemption. Everything that once hurt you will soon serve you. The battle that tried to end you will now broadcast you. And when heaven speaks your name before the nations, even the enemy will have to admit it was all part of the plan. Chosen one, the fire that you walked through was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to prove you. Every chosen vessel must pass through flames, not as punishment, but as purification. You wondered why the heat of life felt so intense, why it seemed as if everything you loved was being stripped away. But fire has always been heaven's way of refining what it intends to reveal. The gold cannot shine until it meets the furnace. The potter's clay cannot hold water until it's placed in the kiln. You were in that kiln, and yes, it hurt. The flames reached high, and your heart trembled. But even in the heat, heaven's eyes never left you. God himself stood in the midst of your fire, ensuring that the flames could burn everything that was temporary, but never you. You may not have realized it then, but every trial was heaven saying, I trust you with testing. That fire did not expose weakness, it revealed worth. It burned away fear, pride, and dependency on people who were never meant to define you. What remained was something unshakable, a faith forged in fire, a heart that knows the difference between comfort and calling. Chosen one. Do you remember the moments when you thought, this is too much, when you looked around and saw only ashes, yet even in ashes, the story was not over? For every ember that still glowed inside your spirit was a prophecy waiting for breath. You thought you had lost everything, but heaven was simply clearing the space for something new to be built. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 48, verse 10, See, I have refined you, though not as silver. I have tested you in the furnace of affliction. Those words were not written for ancient Israel alone. They were written for every heart that dares to endure divine heat. You, too, have been refined in the furnace of affliction. You are not scarred, you are sealed. Every burn became a mark of belonging, a sign that heaven has invested too much in you to let you remain ordinary. Think of it like this: a diamond is only a piece of coal that refused to give up under pressure. A pearl is just an irritation that turned into beauty inside the shell. You are heaven's diamond, God's pearl. What once hurt you has become your radiance. Now the fire is shifting. What once burned, you will now warm others. You carry the kind of wisdom that only comes from walking through flame and still believing in light. You are the living evidence that endurance produces glory. Chosen one. Your story is not just for you, it's for others who are standing in their own fire, wondering if they can make it out. They are watching you, listening to your words, and finding hope through your resilience. That's why your testimony matters. When you share this message, you aren't just clicking a button, you're casting light into someone else's darkness. If this message finds you at the right time, let your heart respond not only with gratitude, but with action. Like, share, and subscribe, not for the sake of numbers, but for the sake of souls. Every time you do, you plant another seed of hope in someone's storm. The digital flame of your obedience can light torches across the world. And if this word has reached you deeply, if it has touched that quiet place in your soul where you once felt forgotten, consider helping keep the fire alive. Think of your giving not as donation, but as participation in divine storytelling. Every seed you sow helps this message reach another broken heart, another hidden chosen one waiting for a word from heaven. You are not giving to a screen, you are giving to the mission of light itself. The way rain revives a dry field, your generosity revives the message that heals others. Just as someone once shared hope with you, now you become the vessel through which hope flows. You may never know whose life changes because you decided to keep the flame burning, but heaven will. Chosen one. The furnace has finished its work. The gold has been tested, and it gleams. You carry the glow of someone who walked through fire and refused to surrender. Every ember of your story still carries divine heat, enough to ignite faith in those who have forgotten what light feels like. So, shine. Not with pride, but with purpose. Let your scars tell the truth that God is still in the refining business. You were not destroyed, you were defined. And now, from the ashes of your testing, your announcement begins to rise. Chosen one. Heaven is turning the wheel. You can feel it, the subtle shift in the air, the stirring in your spirit, the holy unease that tells you something unseen is aligning. For years you walked through shadows wondering if your path had meaning. But now divine reversal is unfolding. The same road that broke you is about to bless you. What was delayed will now be delivered. What was denied will now declare destiny. You are stepping into the hour where every attack begins to turn in your favor. The weight that once crushed you will become the very platform that lifts you. The doors that once slammed in your face will now open with divine force. Heaven has watched every tear you shed in silence. And now those tears have turned into keys, unlocking the promises you forgot were yours. It was never about what you lost. It was always about what you were being prepared to carry. The enemy thought he was subtracting from you, but heaven was multiplying your value in secret. God's mathematics are different. He adds through subtraction and multiplies through pruning. Every loss was a lesson. Every delay was divine design. Chosen one. When heaven reverses things, it does not simply restore, it redeems. It does not just bring you back to where you were. It elevates you beyond what you imagined. You are not returning to normal. You are rising into new. You will soon understand that nothing truly fell apart. Everything fell into place. Your story is about to sound different. The same people who said, "Where is your God?" will soon ask, "How did you survive that?" And your answer will be simple: grace carried me. For what tried to bury you only deepened your roots. What tried to silence you taught you to sing louder. What tried to break you only built endurance. There is a divine law that darkness always forgets. God never loses. Even when the enemy thinks he has the final word, heaven simply waits and then rewrites the ending. You, chosen one, are that rewritten ending. Your pain is becoming prophecy. According to what is revealed in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. That is not merely a verse, it is your life's headline. All things are working together: the heartbreak, the loss, the waiting, the wandering, the prayers you thought went unanswered. Heaven never wasted a moment. Every shattered piece is fitting perfectly into the mosaic of your destiny. You may not see the full pattern yet, but heaven has already finished the design. It's like a master painter working close to the canvas. The strokes seem random up close, but when you step back, you see beauty. That's your story, divine art in progress. This is why you could not quit. This is why you had to survive. Heaven was protecting the masterpiece in motion. The things you thought were ending, you were actually introducing you to your next season. The divine reversal is not coming, it's happening now. And as heaven moves, you will notice the small signs first. Peace, returning to places that once felt chaotic. Opportunities coming from unexpected corners. Strength rising where you once felt weary. Those are not coincidences, they are confirmations that reversal has begun. Chosen one. Every trial you faced was not wasted. The heartbreak taught you compassion. The betrayal taught you discernment. The loss taught you gratitude. And the waiting taught you wisdom. You have graduated from a school most people never finish, the school of endurance. And now, heaven hands you the certificate of authority. You carry spiritual credibility bought with tears. The divine clock has struck a new hour over your life. The time of running in circles ends here. The chains of stagnation break now. The God who reversed the grave is reversing your story. He is flipping the script, turning mourning into melody, delay into destiny, pain into power. You will soon look back and say, "It all makes sense now." Listen carefully. Chosen one, heaven does not ask for perfection, it asks for partnership. You are not called to understand everything, only to trust the one who does. When you trust, you move heaven's hand. And right now, as you read these words, heaven's hand is moving in your favor. So, if this word resonates deep in your spirit, seal it with faith. Comment the number 444 below. That number is a prophetic symbol of divine alignment and open doors. When you type it, do not treat it as routine, it is an act of agreement. It declares, "My reversal begins now." Let your comment be your covenant. Heaven sees even digital faith as an echo of spiritual obedience. You are not just reacting, you are responding. You are stepping into synchronization with heaven's movement. The same wind that once scattered your plans is now carrying your destiny forward. The same storm that tried to drown you is now washing you clean. This is not coincidence, this is divine orchestration. You have entered the moment where the last will become first, where the wounded will become warriors, and where silence will turn into song. Chosen one, take a breath. This is the sound of reversal. What was meant to break you is announcing you. What was stolen is returning multiplied. Heaven is rewriting your ending. And this time, the story ends in glory. Chosen one, there is a sacred mystery in the way heaven handles broken vessels. The world sees breaking as the end, but heaven sees breaking as the beginning of purpose. When something breaks in God's hands, it does not lose value, it gains meaning. You have been broken, not because you were weak, but because you were chosen to pour. Heaven breaks only what it plans to use mightily. There was a moment when your heart could no longer hold what it used to. The pressure built, the cracks widened, and you thought, "This is the end of me." Yet, that breaking was not your destruction, it was your release. God could not pour through a vessel that was sealed with pride, fear, or self-reliance. The cracks in your soul became channels for His glory to flow through. When you cried out and felt your heart shatter, heaven whispered, "Now I can fill you." Brokenness was not punishment, it was invitation. You were invited to experience intimacy with God at a depth only the broken ever know. You learned that the sweetest fragrance comes from crushed petals, and the most beautiful worship rises from wounded hearts. You began to see life differently. Before, You thought strength meant never breaking. Now you understand that strength is the grace to break and still believe. Every fracture in your spirit has become a window where light enters. Those who look at you now do not see your perfection. They see God's reflection through your cracks. That is what makes you radiant. There were times when you asked God to take away the pain, but He chose instead to transform it. Because pain, when surrendered, becomes power. Your tears watered the ground that will soon bear fruit. Your nights of questioning became the soil for revelation. Heaven used every heartbreak to teach you that divine strength does not roar. Sometimes it simply endures. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 7, "But we have this treasure in jars of clay, to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us." You are that jar of clay, fragile yet filled with eternal treasure. God's glory was never meant to be contained in flawless vessels. It shines best through the ones that have been broken and rebuilt. The cracks in your life tell a story the unbroken cannot tell. They declare that even in weakness, heaven reigns. Chosen one, your brokenness has become your ministry. You may not realize it, but every time you speak with compassion, every time you offer comfort, every time you choose to love again despite being hurt, you are pouring from that vessel. You are releasing the oil that was produced in your crushing. Remember the alabaster jar carried by the woman who anointed Jesus' feet. The fragrance that filled the room could not be released until the jar was broken. So it is with you. What God placed inside you had to be released through breaking. Without it, your purpose would have remained hidden. And when people ask, "How are you still standing?" you can smile and say, "Because I was broken in the hands of God, not the hands of men." The difference is everything. When life breaks you, it shatters. When God breaks you, He reshapes. He never breaks to destroy, He breaks to multiply. Just as bread was broken before it fed the multitude, your life, too, will feed others. There is beauty in your cracks. Chosen one. They are not signs of shame, they are symbols of sacred surgery. They tell the story of divine intervention, of a heart that was shattered and yet somehow still beats with purpose. The world may label you fragile, but heaven calls you fruitful. Do not despise your past or hide your scars. Scars are proof that healing has taken place. They are not reminders of pain, but monuments of mercy. When others see your scars, they see the evidence that grace is real. That is why your story matters, because it carries the scent of survival, the aroma of redemption. Every time you pour out compassion, heaven refills you. Every time you share your story, God breathes fresh oil into your soul. You are not running out, you are running over. The more you pour, the more He provides. That is the paradox of the broken vessel, emptied yet never empty, poured out yet always full. Chosen one, you are not too damaged to be used. You are exactly the kind of vessel heaven chooses. The cracks in you do not disqualify you. They qualify you to carry grace others can receive. You have become a living well from which others may drink and find hope. So lift your head. You may be broken, but you are blessed. You may carry scars, but you also carry oil. You are not the same person who entered the fire. You are the fragrance that rose from it. And soon, the world will breathe in that fragrance and recognize this one has been with God. Chosen one. Every wilderness has an expiration date, and yours is reaching its end. You have been hidden, tested, stretched, and refined. The darkness that once enclosed you was never meant to consume you. It was meant to prepare you for the light that's coming. The silence you endured was not abandonment, it was calibration. Heaven was tuning your heart to its frequency so that when your name is called, you will recognize the sound. You are standing in the divine threshold where pain begins to translate into purpose. The shift is subtle, like dawn rising after a long night. But it is undeniable. You are not who you were when you first entered your season of breaking. The tears that once fell from your eyes have watered the soil of destiny. What once hurt you is now healing others. The wound that once bled has become a well of wisdom. Chosen one. You are stepping into the prophetic shift the moment heaven takes what was hidden and brings it into view. For years, you carried visions that no one believed in, dreams that seemed too fragile to survive. You kept them alive in silence, protecting them like sacred flames against the wind of doubt. Now, the wind changes direction. It no longer fights you, it carries your flame higher. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Those ancient words are unfolding in your story right now. Heaven's plan for you has never been uncertain, even when you were. Every detour, every disappointment, every delay was part of a map you could not yet see. The road looked rough because it was leading upward. The climb was steep because the view was sacred. God's plans are not comfort-based, they are character-based. The prophetic shift begins when you finally understand that the pain was never pointless. You begin to look back and see how every season connected the closed door that saved you, the delay that protected you, the loss that repositioned you. You start to see that the hand of God was always steady, even when you felt lost. The shift is not just happening around you, it's happening within you. You used to pray for escape. Now you pray for endurance. You used to ask for signs. Now you walk by faith. You used to feel unworthy. Now you know you were chosen. This is the transformation heaven was after, not just a change of circumstances, but a change of spirit. When God begins to shift your season, it often feels like everything familiar begins to fade. People drift. Routines dissolve. And old versions of you no longer fit. It feels like loss. But it is actually divine alignment. God removes what cannot move with you into your next level. The pruning is painful, but necessary. Without it, new fruit cannot grow. You might not recognize yourself at first. The softness that once made you timid has turned into compassion wrapped in strength. The sensitivity that once felt like weakness has become discernment. The quietness that once looked like fear has become focus. Heaven has redefined you in the shadows so that when you step into the light, you will shine with authenticity, not imitation. This shift is not about being seen, it's about being sent. You will stand in places you once only dreamed of, not because you chased them, but because you were faithful in the hidden place. The oil on your life has matured, and heaven is ready to pour it out. You will notice people drawn to your voice, not because of what you say, but because of what your spirit carries. You have been with God, and the fragrance of that encounter lingers. Chosen one. This unveiling is not sudden, it is sacred. Heaven does not rush what it refines. The spotlight you are stepping into is not made of fame, but of fire. It will illuminate your purpose and purify your motives. That is why the hidden season lasted so long. God was ensuring that when He elevated you, the weight of the call would not crush you. Do not fear visibility. The same God who kept you safe in the shadows will cover you in the spotlight. You are not stepping out alone. You are stepping out accompanied by angels, guided by the Spirit, and protected by divine favor. You will find that what once intimidated you now recognizes you. The darkness you once battled will now bow to the authority you carry. The prophetic shift is not a future promise, it is a present unfolding. Heaven is unveiling what it once concealed. The waiting is over, the revealing has begun. You are not being introduced to the world. The world is being introduced to what heaven has already known about you all along. Chosen one. Walk forward without hesitation. The time for hiding has ended. The season of silence is breaking open into the sound of destiny fulfilled. You are stepping into your announcement not as the same person who entered the fire, but as one who carries the flame. Chosen one. Something sacred is happening within you. You are shedding an old skin, letting go of the version of yourself that was shaped by pain and misunderstanding. The one who doubted, who apologized for shining, who tried to fit into places that could no longer contain them, that version is fading. What is emerging is royal, refined, and radiant. This is your mantle. Exchange the holy moment where heaven takes the old garment of survival and replaces it with a robe of authority. You have been faithful through the fire, steadfast in obscurity, obedient in confusion. Every yes whispered in secret became a thread in this new garment of power. The time has come for your exchange. The tattered cloak of yesterday, the identity the world tried to assign to your wounds, is being replaced by the royal covering of divine purpose. You are no longer the one who endured, you are the one who reigns. In this moment, heaven is not just restoring you, it is reintroducing you. You will no longer move as the one who once struggled, but as the one who now carries a mantle of glory. The pain you survived has authorized you to speak healing. The losses you endured have anointed you to lead. The tears you shed have given you spiritual sight. You are not merely stepping forward, you are ascending. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 30, verse 11. You turned my mourning into dancing. You removed my sackcloth and clothed me with joy. That verse is not only poetic, it is prophetic. Heaven has already begun the exchange. You can feel it in the way peace settles where fear once lived, in the way clarity replaces confusion, in the way your spirit no longer trembles but stands tall. You are wearing something new now, something woven by unseen hands. It is light but powerful, invisible yet undeniable. This mantle comes with weight, not a burden, but authority. You will sense a new gravity in your words. When you speak, it will not be from emotion, but from anointing. The atmosphere will recognize you. The same spiritual forces that once opposed you will now bow to the oil that covers you. You have transitioned from being attacked to being anointed. Heaven never wastes battles. Every season of warfare taught you how to carry what others cannot. You have learned humility in victory and wisdom in suffering. You have learned that true strength is not loud, it's steady. True power is not performance, it's presence. You carry the quiet authority of someone who has been both broken and rebuilt by God. This is why your mantle cannot be imitated. It is not something you received by title or training, it was forged in trial. Others may wear garments of recognition, but yours was tailored by endurance. It fits only you because it was woven with your tears. Chosen one, your walk will look different now. You will move with grace that confuses those who underestimated you. You will speak words that sound simple but carry divine weight. You will walk through rooms and shift unseen atmospheres. Heaven has endorsed you. What you carry cannot be faked, and it cannot be stolen. And though your mantle is glorious, it is not for vanity, it is for service. You were crowned not to be celebrated, but to be sent. You are a vessel of divine influence, a carrier of heavenly fragrance. People will not always understand you, but they will feel peace in your presence. The same fire that purified you will now warm those around you. Do not shrink back. You have already paid the price for this mantle through every sleepless night and every surrendered prayer. Heaven trusts you with influence because you proved trustworthy in obscurity. You were faithful with little, and now God is placing much in your hands. This is not promotion by man, it is appointment by heaven. You can sense it, can't you? That subtle awareness that something has changed, that the weight you used to carry has lifted, that your steps feel lighter, that your voice feels stronger. That is not imagination, it is impartation. The old you has finished their assignment. The new you has just been commissioned. Now, seal this moment in faith. Comment, I rise. Let those 2 words be your declaration to heaven and to your own heart. When you type them, you are not describing your mood, you are declaring your movement. You are announcing to the unseen realm that you accept the mantle placed upon you. I rise means you refuse to wear shame again. You refuse to shrink again. You refuse to doubt again. Chosen one, rise not in arrogance, but in awareness. Rise not to prove anything, but to fulfill everything. Heaven's robe rests on your shoulders now, and the same fire that refined you will protect you. You are clothed with joy, covered with grace, and crowned with purpose. The mantle exchange is complete, and your coronation has begun. Chosen one, there is a divine principle that heaven never hides. God does not anoint you in secret, only to keep you unseen forever. There comes a time when what was whispered in hidden places must be announced in the open. That moment has arrived for you. The same ground that once held your tears will soon host your triumph. Heaven is preparing a public table for you, not to humiliate your enemies, but to demonstrate that faithfulness still has a reward. You have walked through humiliation, misunderstanding, and mockery, and yet you did not curse the dark. You waited, and your waiting has summoned the announcement. God is not merely bringing you out, He is setting the stage so that every eye that watched you fall will witness your rising. This is not revenge, it is revelation. Heaven is revealing what it always knew about you. The ancient words recorded in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 5, now echo over your life. You prepare a table before me in my enemy's presence. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. That table is being set even now. Your enemies are not being invited to feast, they are being invited to witness. The same voices that once doubted your destiny will have to acknowledge your anointing. But this announcement is not about them, it's about God's glory shining through your story. You are the evidence that perseverance is never wasted. Think of it like a seed buried deep beneath the soil. The world thought it was gone, forgotten, lifeless. But time and pressure worked in silence until suddenly the ground split open. The seed rose, not because it wanted attention, but because it could no longer stay hidden. That's you, chosen one. You're not rising for applause, you're rising because it's time. Heaven decreed it. You will notice how peace surrounds you even as the light increases. That peace is not natural, it's divine insulation. When God promotes, He also protects. The light that shines on you now does not expose your weakness, it magnifies His strength. You are not shining for yourself, you are reflecting the one who never left you in darkness. And as this message touches your heart, remember, you are not walking alone. There are countless others still sitting in their shadows, waiting for a sign that hope still breathes. When you share this message, you become that sign. You become the gentle knock on the heart of someone ready to give up. So, like, share, and subscribe not as routine gestures, but as acts of rescue. Your click may be the hand that pulls someone back from despair. Think of it as planting digital seeds in unseen soil. A word spoken today may bloom tomorrow in the heart of a stranger. Heaven watches these small acts of faith and multiplies them in ways we can't measure. Just as a candle loses nothing by lighting another, you lose nothing by sharing hope. You only expand its reach. And if this word has poured light into your life, consider pouring back, not out of pressure, but partnership. Every time you give, you don't just support a message, you sustain a movement. Your giving is like water poured onto the roots of a young tree. You may not see the forest yet, but one day, those trees will stand tall, sheltering souls who found hope through your generosity. To donate is not to lose, it is to participate. It's like dropping a single pebble into a vast lake. The ripples travel farther than your eyes can see. That ripple might reach a heart that feels forgotten tonight. That's how divine mathematics works. Heaven multiplies every sincere seed. Chosen one, your table is being set. But your story is not only about being fed, it's about feeding others. You've eaten bitterness, and now you serve compassion. You've drunk tears, and now you pour comfort. The oil that runs over your head is meant to flow beyond you. The cup that overflows does not do so for decoration. It overflows to refresh others. This is what divine announcement truly means. It is not just visibility, it is responsibility. Heaven elevates you so that hope can stand on your shoulders. Every platform God gives is an altar, not a throne. Use it as a place of offering, not boasting. Speak life. Sow kindness. Scatter light like seeds across digital soil. And as you do, trust that heaven sees it all, the likes that come from faith, the shares that come from love, the quiet donations that come from gratitude. These are not small in heaven's eyes, they are recorded as worship. So, walk boldly into this new visibility. Chosen one. The world will finally see what God has always seen in you, a living testimony, a vessel of oil, a walking miracle. You are the sermon, the sign, and the proof that endurance leads to elevation. The stage has been built, the table has been set, and heaven is ready to speak your name aloud. Chosen one. Every melody that heaven writes begins with silence, and every restoration begins with loss. You thought your music had ended, but heaven was only changing the key. The years the enemy tried to erase have not vanished. They are returning as harmony. There is a sound rising from within you, the sound of restoration. It is not just a song, it is a vibration that calls broken things back into alignment. You may not have realized it, but heaven has been composing through your pain. Every sob, every sigh, every whispered prayer formed part of an unseen symphony. The enemy thought he muted your voice, but God turned your tears into notes that now move mountains. The melody of your endurance is being replayed in heaven's courts, and soon it will echo on earth. There was a time when you thought everything precious had been stolen. You looked at the ashes of what was once vibrant and thought restoration was impossible. Yet even ashes hold memory. They know the form they once carried. And when the breath of God moves, memory becomes matter again. What was dead remembers life. What was silent remembers song. The prophet Joel wrote in the sacred text, chapter 2, verse 25, "I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten." Those words are alive in you right now. They are not metaphor, they are movement. Heaven is restoring time itself on your behalf. The years that felt wasted are folding back like pages turning to the beginning. God is redeeming seasons you thought were gone forever. Opportunities, relationships, peace, and creativity. What was devoured is being returned multiplied. Restoration in God's realm does not mean replacing what was lost with something equal. It means exceeding it. Job lost everything, yet when God restored him, it was double. That is how heaven works. It never restores partially, it restores abundantly. The same will be said of you. You will not merely recover, you will radiate. Chosen one, listen closely. The sound of restoration is not loud. It begins softly, like a heartbeat returning after stillness. You feel it first in your spirit, the sudden awareness that hope has returned. Then it moves into your emotions, the subtle courage to smile again. Finally, it touches your circumstances, and everything that was dormant begins to stir. Restoration moves like sunrise, gradual, but unstoppable. You are living proof that divine timing is never late. The enemy may have thought he destroyed your rhythm, but heaven has perfect pitch. God is orchestrating your comeback with divine precision. Every wrong note is being rewritten into harmony. Every broken chord is being tuned into beauty. There will come a day when you look back and realize that what felt like your ruin was actually your rehearsal. Every delay was a practice in endurance. Every setback was training for the symphony you now conduct. You learned faith like a musician learns sound by repetition, by patience, by silence between the notes. Restoration also means remembrance. Heaven is remembering promises you forgot, prayers you stopped praying, dreams you buried. God never archives faith, He preserves it. Every seed you sowed in pain is still alive beneath the soil of time. The rain of restoration has begun to fall, and soon you will see sprouts of joy breaking through the ground. This is the nature of God's redemption. It never returns something to its old state. It returns it better, deeper, more divine. You will recognize yourself and yet not recognize yourself. For the pain that shaped you has made you unbreakable. The voice that once trembled now carries tone and truth. The heart that once feared now flows with faith. Chosen one, restoration is not a single moment, it is a rhythm. You will walk in it daily. Every sunrise will remind you that yesterday's losses are no match for today's mercies. Every breath will testify that heaven still has business with your life. And as you walk in this new rhythm, you will notice how even your scars start to sing. They will not hum of pain, but of proof proof that the same God who allowed the breaking also ordained the rebuilding. Your life will carry a melody recognizable to those who have lost hope. They will hear your tone and say, "If they were restored, so can I." You are becoming a living harmony of grace and endurance, of beauty and strength. The sound of restoration that began as a whisper will soon fill entire rooms. You are no longer singing from pain, you are singing from power. Chosen one, lift your head. The orchestra of heaven has picked up your song again, and the conductor is smiling. The music never stopped. It was simply waiting for your heart to heal enough to hear it. Now, the melody of your restoration begins. Chosen one. There is a moment in every divine journey when endurance transforms into authority. You have reached that moment. What once pressed you down is now the platform beneath your feet. The weight that tried to crush you has become your crown. Heaven has been watching you carry pain with grace, disappointment with dignity, and silence with faith. That endurance has been transfigured into power, holy, refined, unshakable authority. Authority is not given in comfort, it is forged in conflict. The trials you faced were not random, they were training grounds. Every hardship was a classroom where heaven taught you how to command storms rather than be consumed by them. You were not just surviving those seasons, you were being certified. Every wound became a credential. Every prayer a stamp of divine endorsement. Now you walk differently. There is a quiet confidence in your spirit, not born of pride, but of perspective. You have seen what darkness can do, and you have seen what God can undo. You no longer panic when storms rise. You simply remember who calms the wind. That is authority, knowing you are not at the mercy of chaos, but that chaos is subject to your command when you speak from faith. The Apostle Paul reminds us in the letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 10, finally, "Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power." That strength is not noise, it is knowing. It is the steady gaze that does not flinch when opposition appears. Heaven has entrusted you with influence because you learned to steward pain without letting it poison your purpose. That is why you now carry a presence that shifts atmospheres. Your authority is not human, it is divine. When you enter a room, spiritual climates respond. Where there was confusion, peace begins to settle. Where there was fear, courage awakens. This is not charisma, it is consecration. You have been set apart to represent heaven on earth. The same power that raised Christ from the grave flows through you, not to elevate you above others, but to lift others from despair. You must understand this authority is not control, it is covering. You were broken so that your empathy would become wide enough to shelter others. You were tested so that your wisdom could guide those still wandering in their storms. Heaven did not give you authority to command attention, but to command change. You are the living proof that surrender creates strength. Chosen one, your words now carry weight. They are not casual, they are keys. When you speak hope, despair has to leave. When you declare peace, confusion dissolves. When you whisper prayer, mountains begin to move quietly beneath the surface. You may not always see the result immediately, but heaven always honors the sound of obedience. You carry authority because you submitted to the process others ran from. The wilderness that once felt endless has become your foundation of discernment. The pain that once made you question God now makes you recognize Him quicker. This is the maturity of a chosen one, not perfection, but perception. You now see through heaven's eyes. In this new dimension, your heart beats differently. You do not chase affirmation because you already know you are approved. You do not seek validation because you carry revelation. And when the enemy tries to revisit old wounds, you smile not from arrogance, but awareness. You know he's too late. The test that once broke you is now your testimony. Chosen one. The authority you walk in is not loud, it's luminous. It doesn't announce itself with thunder. It moves with quiet certainty. It's the glow that follows those who have met God in the fire and lived to tell of his faithfulness. You have become that light, a walking revelation of what it means to overcome. And yet, heaven is not finished. The authority you now carry will grow as you continue to walk in obedience. Every act of humility increases your power. Every hidden moment of surrender strengthens your voice. You do not have to fight for attention, you simply stay faithful. And the world will find your light. If this word resonates with what your spirit already knows, seal it with a sign of faith. Comment the number 222 below. It represents divine establishment and confirmation. When you type it, you are declaring, "My authority is established." You are agreeing with heaven's decree that your voice is aligned with divine will. This is not superstition, it is symbolism. Every number in Scripture carries meaning. And 222 is the reminder that what God has begun, he will complete. It marks the covenant between your endurance and your empowerment, between your suffering and your authority. Chosen one, walk boldly in what heaven has trusted you with. You no longer speak from wounds, you speak from wisdom. You no longer move from fear, you move from faith. You have graduated from surviving storms to commanding seas. And as you continue this journey, the world will see in you what heaven has always known: authority born of surrender, power wrapped in peace. Chosen one. What heaven is doing in you now stretches beyond your own story. You were never meant to rise for yourself alone. Your breakthrough is not personal, it is generational. It is contagious. It is awakening others who are still sleeping in their pain. When one chosen one stands, others remember they can stand too. Your light has become a signal fire in the night, calling the weary home to purpose. You see, heaven's strategy was never about your survival alone, it was about multiplication. Every lesson you learned in private is about to echo in public. The healing that came through your tears will now flow through your words. The endurance that kept you alive will become the torch others follow. You are no longer walking just for you, you are walking for nations, families, generations not yet born. When heaven awakens a chosen one, it always intends to awaken others through them. You are not merely restored, you are recruited. Every scar you carry is now a badge of authority. Every victory, a seed of revival. You may not feel like a leader, but your obedience has already led countless unseen hearts back to hope. You are heaven's ripple in motion, an echo of divine compassion traveling across the world. The prophet Isaiah spoke of this calling, and his words still breathe today. In chapter 60, verse 1, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." That verse was not written as poetry, it was prophecy. The light that has risen upon you is not merely for illumination, it is for activation. Those who watch your journey are being awakened, not by your strength, but by your surrender. You are living proof that light still wins. Chosen one. The awakening of nations does not always begin with noise. Often, it starts with one faithful heart saying, yes. You said yes when it hurt. You said yes when you didn't understand. That yes was louder in heaven than any sermon could ever be. It shook spiritual realms and signaled to sleeping souls. It's time to rise. You are becoming what heaven calls a catalyst, someone whose transformation triggers transformation in others. You may never meet them, but your obedience will ripple into their lives. Somewhere, someone will choose to live because you refuse to give up. Somewhere, a heart will forgive because they heard you did. That is how light travels through ordinary people who carry extraordinary faith. Every chosen one carries both a story and a sound. Your story breaks chains. Your sound awakens purpose. It doesn't matter if you speak loudly or softly, write or sing. Lead or serve, whatever expression heaven has given you is enough. You don't have to shout to shift the world. Even a whisper anointed by God can move mountains. The awakening of nations is not just about politics, countries, or borders. It is about hearts remembering heaven's rhythm again. It's about compassion replacing competition, faith overcoming fear, unity silencing division. And that movement begins with you. The Spirit of God is spreading through lives like yours, ordinary people made radiant by extraordinary grace. You may look at the world and see chaos, but heaven looks and sees potential. Every time darkness seems to rise, it is only because light is about to increase. You are part of that increase. When you pray, nations shift. When you forgive, atmospheres change. When you speak truth in love, strongholds crumble. Never underestimate the reach of your obedience. Chosen one. Your life has become an embassy of heaven. Wherever you go, you carry the King's presence. When you walk into a room, you bring the culture of peace. When you speak, you release divine perspective. This is what it means to be an awakener. You carry heaven's reality into earth's confusion. You are a bridge between realms, a walking reminder that God still reigns. There is a fire rising within you that no opposition can extinguish. It is not pride, it is purpose. It burns quietly but unrelentingly. You have learned that true awakening is not dramatic, it is consistent. It's the daily choice to remain faithful, to love, to stand, to shine. Every sunrise you witness is not just a new day, it's a new declaration that darkness has not won. And this awakening will spread. It will move through families, cities, digital spaces, nations, not because you force it, but because light cannot help but travel. You were once one candle in the night. Now you are part of a wildfire of glory sweeping across hearts. Heaven's breath moves through you, turning your endurance into inspiration, your healing into hope for many. Chosen one. Lift your gaze. You are no longer walking in isolation. You are walking in inheritance. The nations are waiting not for perfection, but for presence. The glory upon you is not loud, but it is luminous, and its radiance will awaken countless others to their own divine identity. The awakening has begun, and you, beloved, are its signal flame. Chosen one. There is a tremor in the unseen realm. Hell itself is unsettled because you did not die in the place where you were supposed to break. The forces that once hunted you are now haunted by your endurance. You have become a reminder to darkness that grace still wins. What once stalked you in the shadows now flees at the sound of your name, not because of who you are, but because of the authority of the one who stands behind you. This is the reckoning of darkness, the divine turning point where everything that once opposed you begins to bow. You are not the same fragile soul that trembled at the first sign of trouble. You are battle-tested, heaven-backed, and carrying the fire of revelation. Every trial, every sleepless night, every wound that tried to silence you has now become your weapon. The same pain that weakened you now wounds the enemy. The prophet Micah recorded words that pulse with power. Chapter 7, verse 8. Do not gloat over me, my enemy. Though I have fallen, I will rise. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light. Those words were written for warriors like you. You sat in darkness. Yes, but you did not stay there, even when you could not see light. Light saw you, and when you rose again, you did not rise empty. You rose enlightened. The shadows that once frightened you have become the very places where your discernment was sharpened. You now recognize the patterns of the enemy before he moves. You see through deception because you've already walked through it. Chosen one. The reckoning is not a scream, it's a shift. It is heaven reclaiming territory that darkness tried to occupy. It's the quiet strength in your voice when you pray. It's the stillness in your eyes when chaos surrounds you. It's the peace that confuses your enemies because they expected panic but found purpose instead. The tables have turned. You are no longer reacting, you are reigning. You don't fight like you used to, swinging wildly at shadows. Now you stand still, and your presence alone disrupts the plans of darkness. The authority you carry makes hell nervous because it cannot understand how someone once so broken could now burn with such light. But that's the secret of redemption. The very ones who were crushed become carriers of power. There were days when you thought you were losing, when everything felt heavy, when prayers felt unanswered, when you wondered if heaven had gone quiet. But in those silent battles, your spirit was maturing. You were learning that warfare is not always loud. Sometimes, it's the quiet choice to keep believing. That's when you became dangerous. The enemy can't defeat someone who refuses to stop believing. The reckoning is not about revenge, it's about restoration of divine order. The enemy is not being punished for attacking you, he's being reminded of boundaries. He went too far. And now, heaven is enforcing justice. Every lie spoken against you is unraveling. Every curse is reversing. Every attempt to destroy you has backfired, turning into evidence of your calling. Chosen one. The battlefield no longer belongs to the enemy, it belongs to your testimony. Everywhere he once touched, God is reclaiming. The places of your pain are becoming altars of praise. The tears that once watered the ground of sorrow are now nurturing the garden of victory. What hell used to shame you has become the very story heaven uses to glorify himself through you. Even now, you can feel it, the shift in your spirit. You no longer walk in fear, you walk in clarity. You no longer fight for survival, you fight for dominion. You carry peace like armor, joy like a sword, and wisdom like a crown. The atmosphere recognizes that something holy surrounds you. Angels accompany your steps. Divine justice follows your obedience. Do not mistake peace for passivity. The calm you carry is not weakness, it is confidence. The storm that once raged inside you has been subdued. You are no longer moved by appearances, you discern essence. That's why you can now smile in the face of adversity. You know the end from the beginning. Hell cannot touch what heaven has sealed, and heaven has sealed you. The blood that covered you in your lowest moment has marked you forever. You are untouchable, not because you hide, but because you stand under divine covering. The enemy may roar, but his roar is hollow. His threats are echoes with no authority. Chosen one. This reckoning is not only about your personal freedom, it's about the generations that follow you. What once tormented your bloodline ends with you. The curses that chased your family will find no doorway through you. You are the breaker of patterns, the repairer of breaches, the restorer of ancient paths. Chosen one. This is the moment heaven has been preparing for since your first breath, the public coronation of the private warrior. You have walked through the wilderness, the fire, and the silence. You have faced nights that seemed endless and mornings that began with tears. But now, the trumpet of heaven sounds over your life, announcing what has already been decreed in eternity. Your season of unveiling has come. There is a holy beauty in this kind of rising. It is not loud like applause, nor shallow like fame. It is quiet, steady, and radiant. Heaven crowns in silence so that humility may remain your anchor. You are being crowned not for display, but for duty. The weight of this crown is not heavy, it fits perfectly, molded by every trial you survived. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8. The crown of righteousness awaits me. The righteous judge will award me on that day, and all who long. This crown is not made of gold or jewels. It is made of perseverance, surrender, and unwavering faith. You have longed for his appearing, and now the King himself adorns you with dignity. Heaven's hands are gentle as they rest that invisible glory upon your head. Every angel that watched you fight unseen battles now stands in reverent silence, for they know what this moment cost. Your coronation does not happen in a palace, but in the same place where you once fell. The soil that held your pain now holds your praise. The same people who misunderstood your process will now witness your promise. And when they ask, "How did this happen?" your only answer will be grace. Grace built this crown. Grace carried you through deserts and valleys, across storms and through silence. Grace made you unbreakable, not by removing the fire, but by walking with you through it. That same grace now shines from your countenance. You no longer wear the expression of the wounded, you wear the calm of the crowned. Chosen one. Every coronation carries a commission. You are not being elevated for decoration, you are being positioned for impact. Your voice will carry differently now, not with noise, but with resonance. People will not just hear you, they will feel truth through you. The oil on your life has matured, it carries fragrance now, not just fire. As you step into this next chapter, remember, crowns are not given for comfort. They are reminders of calling. A true crown is worn not on the head of pride, but on the heart of service. You are crowned to carry compassion, to lead with love, to shine with purpose. If this word has stirred something inside you, if it feels like confirmation of what heaven has already whispered, then take a moment to respond from your heart. Like this message, share it, and subscribe if you haven't yet. But don't do it for numbers, do it for nourishment. Every time you share, you scatter seeds of hope into unknown soil. Someone who feels invisible may find light because of your simple act of faith. And if this message has poured into your soul, consider pouring back not as payment, but as participation. When you donate, you are not giving to a platform, you are giving to a purpose. Think of your gift as a stream feeding a river. That river flows to places you may never travel, to hearts you may never meet, to souls you may never know. But heaven will know. Your generosity becomes a torch passed forward, ensuring the light that reached you continues to burn for others. The seeds you sow today will bloom as testimonies tomorrow. Just as one candle lights another without losing its flame, every offering you make keeps the fire alive. And do not forget to engage below. Leave your reflections, your thoughts, or even a simple line of gratitude. Your comment may be the spark that rekindles another heart. When we testify, we multiply light. Words have wings, let yours fly. Chosen one. The crown you wear is invisible to the world, but undeniable in the spirit. Heaven recognizes your authority, and earth will soon align with it. You are not stepping into arrogance, you are stepping into assignment. Walk with grace, lead with humility, and remember, true royalty serves. The coronation is not the end of your journey, it is the beginning of your reign. The same fire that tested you now surrounds you as brilliance. The same storms that broke you now bow at your feet. You are living proof that endurance produces elevation. And as you move forward, may your every step echo this truth. The one who was once hidden is now heralded, not for glory's sake, but for God's sake. Your crown is not just on your head, it's in your heart. You have been crowned by grace, commissioned by love, and sent by heaven. Chosen one. When the fire dies down and the applause fades, what remains is the quiet glow of glory. You stand now on the other side of breaking, on the mountain that once seemed unreachable. And as you look back, you realize something sacred. Every scar you carry shines. What once felt like evidence of pain has become evidence of purpose. Every scar is a signature of divine craftsmanship, proof that heaven's hand has touched your life. You no longer see those scars with sorrow. You trace them with reverence, knowing that without them, you would not have known God the way you do now. Each mark is a reminder of an encounter, a moment where grace intervened, where light pierced darkness, where hope was reborn. You used to hide them, thinking they were flaws, but heaven calls them features in eternity. Beauty is not the absence of wounds, it is the transformation of them. The Word of God declares in the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 9, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." That truth now lives in you. You have discovered the holy paradox that power and weakness coexist. The world taught you to despise fragility, but heaven taught you to see it as invitation. When you were weak, God was near. When you were broken, He was building. When you thought you had nothing left to offer, He whispered, "Now I can use you." The moments that embarrassed you have become the evidence that grace is real. Chosen one. This is what glory beyond the breaking looks like. It is not a constant explosion of light, it is a steady flame that burns with peace. It is the calm after the storm, the beauty that remains after the ashes settle. It is walking into rooms with quiet confidence, carrying light without even speaking. The glory does not demand attention, it commands respect through serenity. You carry something now that cannot be taught. It cannot be learned in classrooms or through sermons, it can only be lived. People who meet you may not understand what changed, but they will feel it. There is a gentleness in your presence that did not exist before, a depth in your eyes that speaks without words. You are no longer reaching for glory, you are radiating it. Heaven often hides glory in ordinary moments. It's in the way you forgive quickly now, the way you no longer argue to be right, the way you extend kindness even when it's not returned. These are not small acts, they are signs of transformation. You have learned that glory is not about shining brighter than others, it is about reflecting the one who never stopped shining on you. And though you carry light, you have not forgotten the shadows. You still remember the nights when the fire was dim, when hope was fragile. But now, those memories do not hurt, they humble. They remind you that every sunrise is mercy renewed, every breath a gift undeserved. You do not need to prove anything anymore. You are content to simply be. That is glory, the peace of becoming what heaven saw all along. Chosen one. Your life has become a mosaic of divine contradictions, broken yet beautiful, scarred yet sacred, quiet yet powerful. And this is precisely what makes you unstoppable. Because you no longer fear pain. Pain no longer controls you. You have learned to bless what once burdened you, to thank what once terrified you. The very things you used to run from are now your reminders of resurrection. Look closely, and you will see it. Your scars are glowing, not with pain, but with presence. They tell the world, this one has been through the fire and found God in the flames. They tell the darkness, this one cannot be broken again, because they were already remade. This is the glory beyond the breaking, the kind that cannot be taken because it was born from loss, the kind that cannot be stolen because it was built from surrender, the kind that cannot fade because it is not external, it is eternal. You have become a living temple of triumph, a cathedral of quiet miracles. Heaven did not remove your cracks, it filled them with light. That is why you glow differently now. That is why you walk with peace even in storms. The breaking purified you. The rebuilding glorified you. Chosen one. Lift your gaze once more. The reflection looking back at you is not who you were, it is who you were always meant to be. The fire has passed, the scars have healed, and the glory remains. You are proof that broken things in God's hands do not stay broken, they become breathtaking. Chosen one. Everything has led to this moment, the divine unveiling of your eternal announcement. What began as breaking has become broadcasting. You once wondered why you were chosen to walk through so much pain. But now you understand heaven was not trying to destroy you. It was amplifying you. The same sorrow that silenced your voice has become the very sound that carries it. You are not simply known on earth anymore. Your name is recorded in heaven. The echoes of your endurance have reached beyond time. The angels who wept with you now sing over you. They call you by the title written beside your name in eternity, Overcomer, Witness, Chosen. The pain you endured was not wasted. It became a proclamation. Your story is no longer a whisper, it is a trumpet, declaring to every watching realm that grace is greater than grief, that mercy always finds a way, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. In the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 12, the one who is victorious I will make a pillar in the temple of my God. Never again will they leave it. I will write on them the name of my God and the name of the city of my God. You are that pillar now, strong and steady. The temple of your soul stands rebuilt from the ruins. Where once there was trembling, there is now testimony. You have become a dwelling place for peace, a sanctuary for strength, a voice that speaks not from theory but from transformation. Heaven itself bears witness, you have fulfilled what you were sent for. Chosen one. The eternal announcement is not about fame, recognition, or applause. It is about resonance. Your existence now vibrates in harmony with heaven's song. You live not just for today, but as part of a divine symphony that plays beyond the boundaries of time. The world may forget names, but heaven never forgets obedience. Every yes you whispered in pain is still echoing in eternity. The divine record of your life is not written in ink, but in light. It shines in the archives of heaven, a story of redemption glowing brighter with every act of faith. Every tear has been collected. Every sacrifice is remembered. The moments when you felt unseen were sacred appointments between your soul and eternity. Now, the unseen becomes seen. The forgotten becomes fulfilled. When heaven looks upon you, it does not see what was lost, it sees what was revealed. You have become proof that human fragility can carry divine strength. The eternal announcement is not a sound you hear, it is a truth you have become. You are the declaration God restores. You once cried out, asking for meaning in the pain. Now you live as the answer. Every broken piece of your story has been rearranged into a message that will speak long after you are gone. You have joined the eternal chorus of the redeemed, the unseen symphony of those who loved God more than comfort, who believed even when blind, who held on when hope trembled. Chosen one. Eternity knows your voice. When you worship, it vibrates through realms. When you forgive, heaven rejoices. When you love, despite pain, creation itself breathes deeper. You have become a note in heaven's melody, a sound that cannot be silenced, because it was composed by the Creator himself. Look around you, the same earth that once held your tears now blooms with evidence of your endurance. The same sky that seemed distant now mirrors the light you carry. You have transcended the boundaries of fear. You live in a rhythm of grace, walking as one who has seen eternity and returned with fire in your eyes. And though your announcement reverberates through heaven, you remain humble, for you know it was never about you. You are not the center of the story. You are the vessel through which the author chose to speak. You are a living scripture, written not on tablets of stone, but on the tablet of your heart. Now, rest in this truth. The enemy's attempt to break you only made your message louder. The ashes became your altar. The silence became your song. You are heaven's announcement, a reminder that love never fails, that hope never dies, that purpose never fades. Chosen one. Your journey has not ended. It has entered eternity. Every step you take from this moment forward is no longer measured in time, but in impact. You walk in both worlds now, earthly yet eternal, visible yet divine. The heavens have spoken, and your life is the echo what the enemy used to break you. God used to announce you. Your name has become melody. Your story has become prophecy. Your very breath has become worship. And, as eternity listens, heaven smiles. For the chosen one has completed the circle. The pain became power. The breaking became beauty. And the story became eternal. Chosen one. Take a breath. Let the weight of every word you've walked through settle gently on your spirit. You have completed the journey, the breaking, the refining, the rising, the crowning, and now you stand radiant, whole, and alive in purpose. What once crushed you has become your calling card. What once silenced you has become your song. You are no longer the one who wonders if God sees you. You are the one through whom God speaks. Every trial was the ink that wrote your testimony. And now, heaven reads your story aloud for the world to hear. The pain that once buried you became the soil of your anointing. Out of that soil grew faith that cannot be shaken. And as this message closes, let its truth linger, what the enemy used to break you. God has used to announce you. You are a walking declaration that grace transforms, that endurance wins, and that light always outlasts the storm. If these words have stirred something within you, if they've reminded you that you are not alone, not forgotten, not finished, take a moment to let heaven know you heard. Like this message, share it so others may find the same strength that found you. And subscribe if you want to keep walking this divine path together. Leave a comment below. Even a simple line of gratitude or reflection. You never know who might read your words and find the courage to rise again. Your voice may be the spark that ignites someone else's hope. Together, we are not just listeners, we are torchbearers, keepers of a sacred flame that cannot be extinguished. Chosen one, this is not goodbye, it's the beginning of your becoming. Walk forward with peace. Shine without apology. And remember, heaven's eyes are still on you, cheering as you carry this light into every corner of darkness. You are not ordinary. You are chosen. You are seen. You are announced.